Broadcasting from Detroit's historic Cass Corridor, this is The Metro. I'm Tia Graham.
And I'm Robin Vincent. Today on the program, techno is black. Techno is Detroit. And it's still evolving.
John Collins of Underground Resistance and Ember Lafiama join us to reflect on where the sound came from and what it takes to sustain it now.
And we want to hear from you. What do you think the city needs to do to better support electronic artists and the genre more broadly?
We'll open up the phone lines in the second hour. That number is 313-577-1019. Plus, Jeff Mills, Detroit's own Wizard of Techno, is headlining Movement's opening night.
He spent some time in the WDET studios to discuss music, the mission, and coming home to the city that started it all.
But first, many arts organizations are in a vulnerable position right now. That's in part because the Trump administration has started canceling National Endowment for the Arts grants and has called for the elimination of the agency altogether. That means something to Michigan organizations. In 2024, the NEA grant granted more than $3 million to arts organizations in the state. As of last week, the majority of the funds earmarked for 2025 have been snatched back, leaving hundreds of nonprofits in the red financially, and that's according to reporting from the Detroit Free Press. What does this all mean for local arts organizations? What are they doing to survive and get through this moment? To discuss this and more, we have Oliver Ragsdale Jr. with us. He is the CEO of the Carr Center, a hub for the visual and performing arts in Detroit, focused on promoting and sharing the work of Black artists. Oliver, welcome back to the Metro.
Hey, Tia. Good to see you. Good to be back.
Good to see you, too. So the last time we had you on the show last year, we talked about financial situation. It was then that you told us that you were having a little hard time finding new donors. Where are we today?
Oh, the struggle continues. The challenge happens. We have put together a plan, and we are focused on the long term. I think that in this short, in the current situation, current environment, there's a lot of volatility. Fortunately, we got an NEA grant, and we finished our grant. Submitted our report and got our dollars within a couple of days, so we didn't get terminated. And we've been fortunate like that. We have some incredible programming that's going on, and we're staying focused on Black artistic excellence and everything about it. And we've been through cycles before. We'll go through cycles again. I've been doing this for a few minutes, and eventually we're going to be all right. It's tough, and I think that with the NEA cuts and the pullback, that will probably going to impact state funding to some degree. It then puts challenges on the local corporations and foundations, and how all of that materializes and what is going to become our new normal.
Mm-hmm. And I just think about the legacy of the Carr Center itself, especially the uplifting of Black artists within the genre of jazz, for example. And I think about what jazz means to the city of Detroit. And you just said you've done this before, but it is a little different. So I just want to talk about the connection here of the roots and the importance of uplifting Black voices and Black artistry here, but also the idea that you've done this before. I want to get into that and dig into that a little bit more. So I want to go back and talk about the roots of jazz a little bit and how important it is to the city of Detroit through the Carr Center and how you've presented it and what it means that you've been here before.
Well, I think that jazz is America's music. It's foundationally America's music, and Detroit was an incubator for that music over the decades. When you look at the number of NEA honorees that are from Detroit, who are jazz musicians, it's just an incredible list. And I think that as a Black man, continuing those traditions are very important. And it's foundational for what the Arts League of Michigan, our nonprofit parent, and the Carr Center are about. And it's that same way in all disciplines, because we as Black people, we as human beings have been gifted, been given these gifts from God to present, to nurture. When you get up in the morning and you look outside and you see the beauty, when you hear the birds, when you see the water and the lakes that we live on here. Those are all part of the tradition. And then it goes on to visual arts, it goes to jazz, it goes to dance, it goes to all kinds of music genres. You're going to be talking about techno later, and that's another invention, a Detroit invention.
Yes.
That is just really important. Yeah, I've been doing this for 45 years. And in that 45 years, it's been very cyclical. All of the time, there's something different. But as I was thinking about this conversation, and I was thinking about things that I've heard in my life, I thought about Joseph Lowry this morning, who was a lieutenant to Reverend Dr. King. And one day he did a sermon at our church, and he talked about do justice and what's for the common good. And I think that in the work that we do, this DEI or equality or any of those other kinds of things, if we just do justice and what's for the common good in all of our work, in all of our arts, in all of our sports, in all of our banking, in all of our housing, then we're going to be fine. It's when we get focused away, when we get unfocused from justice and the common good and start thinking about money, power, and those types of things that things get messed up.
Yeah, and we see some things right now that are not what they should be. So I do want to talk a little bit about just the financial situation. We talked a little bit about that, though. Are you finding it harder to find federal grants to support the work that you all do at the Carr Center since we've seen a change in administration?
We are currently not pursuing any NEA grants. Until it's realigned and you get it figured out, we're not playing in that ballpark right now. So that therefore the domino effect is what's the impact in us reaching out to foundations or corporations or individuals and how that plays out, and recognizing that with those dollars being gone, held up, the impact of that means there's more people in the pool, and therefore it redefines how you swim in the pool.
So let's go and move forward to what's going on at the Carr Center.
That's more important.
Yes, let's talk about the solutions to some of the things that we're seeing. So Summer Dance Intensive, it is back. It is for the young folks out there. Talk about the program and its popularity, because you keep bringing it back.
Well, the important thing is that young people have talent. People have talent. And so we want to nurture those young people who are excelling in talent. We're committed to artistic excellence. And so, we're not doing anything special. We're just doing what we do. And we're continuing to do what we do. So with the dance program, young people are going to have the opportunity to come in and deal and work with outstanding teachers from around the country who will be bringing their tap skills, their hip hop skills, their jazz dance skills, their contemporary dance skills, their ballet skills to our young people. And when they leave, that talent will still be here. And there are lots of dance studios here in the Detroit area that continue to nurture that dance after the summer program that we do is over. So I think that we look at it as an indirect collaboration and a continuation of the work that the local dance studios and dance companies do, and take things to a next level.
Which, is so interesting. We recently spoke with a student from the Detroit School of Arts, and they talked about just, the community here that's built around so many different aspects of art, whether it is the dance community or the music community, where you have Rodney Whitaker coming in and sitting down and talking to some of the kids. So I do want to ask you a little bit more, of course, about the Summer Dance Intensive, but I do want to ask you about the recent work that you all have been able to do with some of the younger kids before we talk about the Summer Dance Intensive. But what is some of the work that you all have been able to do?
You mentioned Rodney Whitaker. Rodney runs our Gathering Orchestra Fellowship Program, and that program has been incredible this year. It's a 2-year program, and we are finishing up the 2 years. And one of the young people said to me at the end of a residency that we did 2 or 3 weeks ago, he said, we couldn't have done what we just did the first day we got here. And that we have progressed, and we are at a different place. And so we had Diego Rivera come in. We had Orrin Evans come in and work with the young people, along with Rodney and Vincent Chandler and the other guys who teaching the program. And the young people grew, and we had so many. We grew the program that we had both a big band and a nonet ensemble that went into the schools and did education programs in the schools, and were able to turn on young people at DSA and in Southfield and other places.
So, once again, I actually was able to see the traveling orchestra or the MSU Spartan Bebop band. Actually, I was able to see Rodney perform at my cousin's graduation in January, and I just thought to myself, as I was sitting there, these are the group of kids that he's been able to mentor and really teach and progress within the jazz field, and they were amazing, and people were clapping and standing, and I just thought, this is a Detroit man here.
He's a Detroit man. The band that you saw, the Spartan Bebop, is the MSU big band. And so the difference is with the Gathering Orchestra, the young people that play in that come from Wayne State, University of Michigan, Oberlin, Bowling Green, Michigan State. So that bringing those young people together gives them another kind of opportunity to expand. The same thing that happens in the dance education program, where the kids come from all around the community and have a different opportunity to interact and grow. So
we're talking about the dance intensive. We're talking about the Carr Center, of course, and just making sure that you're providing programming for young people within the city of Detroit. Now, the Summer Dance Intensive, you do have to register. You do have to sign up for it. What should people know if they do want to get their kids involved?
Reach out to the carcenter.org. That's the Carr, CARR Center.org. Auditions are this Saturday at Wayne State, beginning at 9:30. Registration is 9:30 on Saturday morning. It's for young people 9 and up. Through college that will be participating in the program. The director of the program, who's a graduate of the Debbie Allen program, is our director, and he will be here. And Gina Ellis, who runs the program, is on top of all of the pieces to the puzzle. So the carcenter.org, and we'll be at Old Main on Saturday.
We're talking about what's going on at the Carr Center with the CEO, Oliver Ragsdale Jr. I'm Tia Graham. You're listening to The Metro. And you do have a few other things that are happening. You have Everyday People, Part 2, and an artist talk as well with Aaron Smith, which is happening tonight. What is Everyday People? You have Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. And talk a little bit about what we'll be seeing on display.
Unfortunately, it's only Part 1 and Part 2.
Oh, no, I didn't make up a Part 3.
Yeah, I wish there was a Part 3. It is the most incredible art exhibition. Part 1 and Part 2 together are 90 pieces of art, including Detroiters and people from, frankly, around the world. There are some African artists involved. We have the great Ernie Barnes, who's in the current show. We've had Annie Lee. Aaron Smith is coming in today. She has 3 tremendous pieces that are in the show. The show is curated by Elijah Rashid and Dahlia Reyes, and we're doing it in partnership with the Dayton and Detroit NAACP. And, some people are saying that it's the best exhibition that's been in Detroit in several years. I think you have to come and judge for yourself. But most importantly, we invite you to come to the Park Shelton. It's so big that it's not just in our galleries, but it's in our performance studios, performance studio as well. Tonight we have Aaron Smith. Next week, the Vincent Chandler group is coming in. It's a musical group, and Vincent has written music inspired by works in the exhibition. And we have had that programming throughout. In June, we're doing a concert that I'm calling Pictures at an Exhibition with a twist. And it's a solo piano concert by Brendan Davis, a young, gifted pianist who's going to take the Mussorgsky Pictures at an Exhibition and give it a little bit of a jazz twist to it. And then we're going to do a special program on June the 19th with the Rudy Hawkins Singers. Unfortunately, we lost Rudy last week. He passed, but we're going to do the concert anyway. Rudy was working on the concert and had put it together. And once again, he had selected pieces in the exhibition and music that goes with those particular pieces. So as a tribute to him, we're going to continue on with that concert on June the 19th.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a tribute there. Wow, number one, to hear that you have it's been well received. Everyday People Part 1 and Part 2 have been really well received. Talk about just combining your forces and working with two chapters of the NAACP.
Well, it's a great opportunity. Elijah Rashid, who is the curator, comes out of Dayton, and Dahlia brought the exhibition to us. They were looking for a space in Detroit, and we came up with this unique idea of how we could take the piece, because it was 90 pieces, how we would do it in Part 1 and Part 2, because that's the space that we had, but adding the performing arts components, and we even did a literary with Melba Joyce Boyd, did a program of poems that were based
Michigan's
on
poet laureate, by the way,
and Kresge eminent artists, and last week, the last concert we had Marion Hayden, this year's Kresge eminent artist, along with Shahida Nurullah. Rodney Whitaker has performed. So it's been a very eclectic opportunity for artists to see work, be inspired by work, for audiences to see this incredible work. And the thing that's really interesting with this one for us is repeat visitors. Over and over, people are coming back and they see the work in different ways. They spend time with the work. They commune with the work. We have a couple special treats. We have an incredible chess set that is individual sculptures of significant Black individuals on both the pro and pacifist, if you will, side in how they think and work about it. It's not a chess set to play, but it's a chess set to make you think. We have, as I said, the two Ernie Barnes pieces, and we have something called The Goat. We have two goats, and you need to come and see the goats. All I can do is tell you.
That's what I was going to say. I want to know more
not
about the goats.
You got to come see them.
Okay. Alrighty then. And Oliver, literally, this is the last 30 seconds that we have. But what are other events or exhibits that you have coming up that we haven't touched on already in this conversation?
Well, we'll be doing a special program this fall. With Henry Harper, who is a well-known curator and art appraiser here in town, will be curating that particular show, and it will tie in with some of the things that are going on with the DIA. And this summer, we're having the Nova 24 Film Festival. Will be in the Detroit Black Film Festival. Will be there in September. So it just goes on and on. We just continue to focus on the future, and we will continue. Been there, done that. Got a T-shirt.
Yeah. Oliver Ragsdale Jr. is the CEO of the Carr Center in Detroit. Oliver, thank you so much for joining us on the Metro. And what's the website
the Carr
again?
Center, thecarrcenter.org. The Carr Center, CARR Center.org.
Coming up next on the Metro, the Indy cars and drivers hit the streets of downtown next week for the city's annual Grand Prix race. But the big news looming over the event is the fact that legendary team owner Roger Penske is being accused of cheating. WDET's Quinn Kleinfelter and Alex McLennan will break that down for us in just a minute. This is the Metro. You all stay right there.